And we are live for Have a Beer, Guess the Year. I don't know whether you got a glimpse of somebody then. That was a bit weird. Did you get a glimpse of someone? Tell me in the chat. We've got plenty of people here. There is one person who's not going to be here tonight. Nick Capper. Can you believe it? After he wasn't here last week, John Deere went on strike. He's a big tractor fan. Some would say they've seen Capper spin round and round and round very, very quickly. And some people said he's an ex-tractor fan. But Capper is not here tonight. So that means I do have some other guests, as well as all of you watching the last of the lockdown shows. I think it's episode 47. Well, let's see who we've got in the waiting room. Are we ready? Yes. Let's introduce one by one. Yes. Come on and join us. Luke Robertson.
Hey-o.
Yes.
Oh. Hey.
Hey.
I was just thinking I should get a beer and a shotgun.
Oh.
And then I started, so I was too late.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Imagine
I'm sure
I did.
One of the other guests might well do that. Welcome, Luke. Thank you so much for being a part of YouTube history.
I'm so honoured to be asked for whatever the history is being made. I'm glad to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, look, I would stay and chat, but we've got more guests to bring in. Let's see who else is here. Oh, let's see. It is Clint Weaver from all the way from last week's episode. It is the pocket bugle himself.
It looks like he's all the way from like someone's boiler room somewhere.
Yeah.
I feel like Mankind and Undertaker are going to fight their way past at some point.
Send help.
Look, well, we know we're up against three Ravens. We've got three of us at the moment, so we've got to outdo that tonight. We've got one more guest. Let's get into it. Here we go. Who is it going to be?
I hope it's a white dude.
Oh, yes. It is Andrew Gargan, best known as the Ale Stars Shandy. Welcome.
Hey, buddy.
G'day.
Good
We are
mate. How are you?
live. We are piping straight into YouTube. We're here to play Have a Beer Guest of the Year. Sadly, Nick Capper is not here. He's not at the Pink Boots AGM, which is taking place right now. He's not at Three Ravens. I really don't know where he is. So
Shocking.
look, I all I know is that he's we have a joint bank account. It's now empty. And I haven't heard from him. So who knows where he is? No Capper, but we do have plenty of people watching along in the chat tonight. Stuart D and Justine. We've got Craig P. We've got Daniel as well. Oh, yes. Daniel said he needs something special in the glass tonight. What's everyone drinking on the all white, all male panel? I did invite females to this. None of them would come, or they were at the Pink Boots. Some of them said they were going to be at Pink Boots, but probably wouldn't be, just not doing this. So what are we drinking, Luke?
I just came from the Three Ravens thing. So look at these. I don't even know what they are. There's no style on them.
Cans of beer, mate. You've seen it before.
All right. I thought the comedian was away this week.
Clint, what are you on?
On the Capital beers, coming from the Cool Room podcast. Had Capital on the show tonight. So I got a few of those left over.
Nice. Haven't had any Capital for a long time. I think I had is there like a Coast Ale or something I had?
Yeah. Coastal Ale. They've all been pretty good. Actually, I quite like their design, so I do buy them regularly when I see them.
Well, because you like the design.
Yeah, the beers are good as well. But
you were just telling us off mic that the brewery you really admire is Mikkeller. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great beer design.
I genuinely do, like in terms of design. But I'm aware of the stuff that's happening and keen to know more.
Yes, I think it was one of the designs that changed that. No, Tool. It was a Tool and Mikkeller. I think they're both in there.
Both were in there.
And Tool are taking part in the Mikkeller's Beer Festival. They haven't pulled out yet. So, Hey, look, Clint, if you can judge people by their friends, I don't know. Shandy, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, what else could I drink, Ian? I'm closing the loop on a beer that you and I have shared many moments with. It's the one. You won't be able to see it unless I do that.
Yeah. The Kaiju Metamorphosis.
So that's the beer that you selected when you were the guest at Ale Stars, and I thought it was just apt for this evening.
That is great. We talked about whether this show would be cancelled right on the last episode of lockdown. Talking of cancellations, I'm drinking a Colonial IPA. It is my most local brewery, and it is Australian colours, so I will win some points with the immigration service of this fine country. I am drinking out of a special glass as well. Cheers, everyone. We are here to play Have a Beer, Guess the Year. For those playing at home, we're going to go through some clues, and uniquely tonight we've got a panel of 3 white males who are going to use
there's nothing unique there
and come to a guess by the end of the episode. So please play along at home. We've got plenty of people already in the chat. Apparently, I was just going to say, Bench Pressington just said, they're telling people now in the chat in Three Ravens what those beers are, but don't leave for that. That's why am I doing cliffhangers for other?
I know what they are. Not going to tell you, but
okay.
So people that don't know, they don't tell what they are on the can. There's no just kind of, it's like a little poem on the can. You got to guess.
Poem.
Yeah, something I can't read.
Is the answer always beer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Three Ravens, so maybe not. It is.
Yep. It is always beer.
Clint Jared has just said Clint must cry when you see this label. Is that something you're willing to comment on?
I think we've had some conversations about how many design awards that has won. And I don't know, it's a little bit difficult to swallow when that wins, 3 ABAs in a row.
Yeah, but they finally got toppled by Stubbies.
Yes,
this year.
Which is
Stubbies.
Amazing. I think go back to Colonial, to be honest.
Maybe Brew will take a clean sweep at it next year.
If that genuinely has won lots of awards.
The other one, the white and blue one.
Yeah, the pale ale. I've seen that on Canva as one of the presets. It's crazy. It's nice. It's pretty nice beer though. Fair play to them. So let's get started. Feel free, by the way, to jump in, talk over each other, make this as messy as we want. But I'll give you 3 clues to start with. Feel free, whichever one pushes your button, we can talk about more. You know how it goes. So in this year, the first ever patent for a tree was granted. It was a peach tree, just to let you know. I forgot Luke actually writes these down. Shandy's doing that as well.
I've got a really
never had before.
To lean on as well.
I've never done it before, but I am feeling a sense of pressure. I'll be honest.
My memory's just cooked, years of abuse.
Yeah.
So
look, don't be getting your excuses in this early.
Also, I want to win. It's the
okay.
The first note that I've written on my page here is Ian McNally, just so I remember your name at the end.
Clint's already got Alzheimer's.
Yes, yeah. Thanks, Shandy. I just thought I was forgettable, which is the normal criticism. But so the first patent for a tree was granted in this year. A momentous day for radio broadcast technology, because it was the first time in the US a radio broadcast was made from a moving train. Isn't that something? And it's also the first time that Piccadilly Circus in London was lit up using electricity.
Okay.
So what? Come on, they're pretty good clues so far. Electricity at a circus. I mean, surely that's dangerous for the elephants and lions and stuff.
I've got a question, and this might be
those sorts of circuses are cancelled. Ian, come on.
So Piccadilly, like, does circus have another meaning in the UK that you guys are like, oh yeah, it's because it's a square or a rounded square or something, like, or it's what is the story behind that? Do you know?
Yeah, I've got 4 circuses on my car. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Circi, Shandy. It'd be 4 circi.
Yeah.
Like, what is the? Why is it called a circus and not just?
It must be Latin for like circle, circi. So like Ian is saying.
Yeah, I think it is a Latin thing.
Latin.
I don't know what, because I used to think
you must have done Latin in school, Luke.
You have no idea my school. My school was lucky if we didn't get, I don't know. Yeah, my school was very bad.
What languages did they teach in your school, Shandy? Apart from English, obviously. Badly.
Well, to be honest, that was it, man. French, I believe.
French?
Yeah, Gaelic wasn't trendy. The English beat that out of us early, and it hadn't come back by the time I was at school. But I went to a shit school as well, a really shit school. There was Latin the year that I first started, just because I think every school in Scotland and England would have been doing Latin, but they canned it the year I got there. It probably too expensive. Our school was so shit that a lot of my classrooms were porta cabins.
Yes, that is a classic maneuver, isn't it? We're saying we just get a porta cabin for a couple of years before we put the extension on the actual school. 40 years
That's
later,
right.
Still in the porta cabin. One of those classrooms, we had them in our school where you walk in and it's like being it actually, I had slight affection for them because it was like being on holiday in the caravan.
Yeah,
because the floor was just bouncy and
hollow.
We got
closer to the field.
We're going to the shed.
They're always closer to the field, so you could look out and see. And you could see if some people were doing PE. So, that were the good ones.
Well, it's interesting that in my primary school building, it was an old Victorian building. And obviously at the era of the time, they built the walls high so that the windows, the children couldn't see out the window so they could concentrate on the work. That was built into the architecture. It's like so cruel.
Brutalism.
Clint, any memories from school that you want to share? You went to school in Perth, didn't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. And so the second language they taught was English also, as in Australian English. Perth has a different dialect over there. Completely.
It was a surf school that Clint went to.
Yep, definitely. A surf school, but still in the bush. I actually used to travel like an hour and a half on the bus each weekend to get to the beach, but still did it because it's WA.
Yeah.
Did you have any animal incidents at school? Like if you're in the bush in WA, like was there a snake incident like once a week?
Not snakes. Peacocks used to run across our roof weirdly a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently.
Did you ever balance a peacock feather on your finger?
Can't remember doing that. No.
Okay, never mind then.
Hey, Shandy, you might know a couple of my cousins were redcoats at Butland's holiday camp, and they used to have to get up 6 a.m. in the morning, and they had to do a thing called peacocking, which was to walk around, just to wear your redcoat uniform and your white cream trousers and walk around the breakfast area, chatting to guests or just saying, hello, good morning. That was it. It was called peacocking. It's like,
That sounds creepy. My brother was actually I don't know if he was a red coat, but he worked at Butlins. I think he was a bar manager. I'm not sure if that granted him a red coat or not, or if he had to, for that matter, peacock. But are they still a thing?
What is
Butlins?
a red coat?
So already,
you can't just have this like
we've
specific.
we've gone, Ian. We've gone.
when
lost.
There's a holiday camp chain called Butlins in the UK, which was hugely popular with the working class community for many decades. And because you'd go and you'd stay in this really basic chalet, but it was actually better than your house. So it was one of those where, and it was a self-contained camp with loads of entertainment, swimming pools and snooker tables,
bars,
once you're in,
more bars.
yeah, and you play everything for free. All you need to do is give you a room key,
but you don't go anywhere.
Exactly, that. Yeah. And the people who work there, who looked after the guests, were called redcoats, and there was lots of them, and they would kids would go around try to get all the redcoats autographs and things. It was crazy. So
do you know what they're using those places for now, Ian? Or at least some of them? Well, a lot in the 90s, some of them, as they were closing down or being less used, were used for kind of like weekenders, overnight festivals, raves, basically, like organized legal raves. But recently, actually, really cool music festivals as well. Warp have been using them for their festivals in the UK. So you go down to Camber Sands and places like that, and yeah, all the accommodations there. It's shitty, as you say. It's probably not as good as your house these days, but they're getting a second wind at least.
Yeah, well, Pontins was the rival company, which they had blue coats. So hey,
was Heidi High one of those places?
Yeah, like
that's what it was based on. Yeah,
based on that. Yeah.
All right, I'm in. I can chat about this.
Yes. All right, we'll move on.
Ted Bovis.
It was quite a time. My family went 5 times in 1 year for like long weekends and things. We saw Boney M live, Susie Quattro live. We saw the UK's best impersonator of Tom Jones, who won Stars in Her Eyes.
I know that one.
Great, really great. And the funny thing is that there was still women who threw knickers at him. It's fucking great.
Of course you would. What else? You're there. You may as well, there's a suspension of belief, so you may as well do it.
Give yourself
in for a penny.
Oh, absolutely. Susie Quattro down in Devilgate Drive. Oh, never forget that. All right. It's in this year, talking of holidays, the first ever charter holiday took place from London to Basel in Switzerland.
What's a charter holiday?
So it's with it's not like you just catch
the plane that's going anyway.
Yeah. It's basically the purpose of the flight is to get you to your holiday. So
did you say Basel? Basel or Brazil?
Basel.
Okay.
Basel.
Is it Basel or is it Basel?
I think it's I've heard different things. They're in the Champions League, aren't they? They play FC Basel. Hey,
just a little tip to Luke and Shandy here. Don't bother writing down first time ever, because it's the start of every clue.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, write that afterwards.
Yeah.
Did it 3 times, Clint. Cheers.
Me too.
We've got Stuart D, who said Luke was right. Circus meant that Piccadilly Circus was a roundabout. Yeah. Ooh. All right. So
hang on, did you say it was a charter flight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flight.
The first charter flight holiday from London to Switzerland. Presumably for the snow. I don't know. For the chocolate. For the bank accounts.
Why wouldn't it have been to Torremolinos?
I know. I went to Torremolinos when I just finished teacher training. Went to Torremolinos, and we got a really cheap deal. Didn't realize until we got there that it's the homosexual destination, and it was a very, very good holiday with my friend Ben.
Right.
Which we did spend a fair proportion of the time explaining that it was a nice place.
But do you have any poppers anyway?
Yeah.
May as well enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie. He in this year he ends slavery in Ethiopia. It's a kind thing to do, isn't it?
All right, Clint, spell Haile Selassie. I know you've tried to write it down. Spell it.
I struggled with Ethiopia, to be honest.
Haile Selassie is such a like the long distance runner Gabriel Haile Selassie. Like, it's such a popular name in Ethiopia. I think there's only a few names, isn't there, in Ethiopia? But that seems to be a very popular one.
Wait, is that's where reggae? Yeah, never mind. But like reggae songs use Selassie a lot. Selassie, I soldier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to claim that Bob Marley was from Ethiopia.
No.
If you end slavery, you're a big deal, and you know that's the Rastafarians and Haile Selassie. He's their jam.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Clint, we just had somebody in the chat asking why Luke's cat is in your window. And presumably it's just because you can just climb down a Zoom window.
Clint and I we live in the same house.
Yeah.
I'm light, he's dark. Like it's the other part, like it's
the yin and yang.
Mirror world.
Like the Force.
You're like, 100%. I'm
light
Luke.
in the dark. Yeah, you're Luke, and he's obviously Darth Vader.
I feel like the cat's emanating some serious angel qualities here as well with this bright line.
Darth Weaver over there.
All right, we've got the University of Pittsburgh. They manage in this year to isolate vitamin C, or vitamin C, as some people may say it.
I bet they do in Pittsburgh.
It's quite amazing that you never think of like a world without vitamin C tablets. No, I don't take them, but
it's unless you're a pirate with scurvy.
Yeah.
Do
you ever think the pirates were just like going, "Oh, I wish somebody would isolate vitamin C just so we can."
I could murder a Barocca right
now. Also, Ford Motor Company, they publicly unveil their V8 engine.
Okay.
Boys, that's us.
We are the
lads.
Yeah.
I'm such a petrol head.
Love cars.
Yeah.
When I first met Emma's dad, he said his very first question was, "Do you like motorsport?" And I was like,
"This is a trap.
This is not going to go well. I'm sorry.
It's a trap."
I said no. I was honest, and that helped.
That's good. It's a hard thing to pretend to be. Yeah,
Shandy, I know this is going to shock you.
I know, right? Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've got a car, but
well.
I understand petrol as a concept.
Well, actually, the University of Pittsburgh also isolated petrol in this year.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No, how could they isolate petrol when
I don't know.
Ford have brought out a V8 motor?
I just said,
listen, Ford. I know you're waiting for something. You're waiting for the extra special part for that block of fucking steel you put there. Just give us a minute.
I like how I said I understand petrol as a concept, and then immediately fell at the first hurdle.
Well, actually, on petrol, Luke, in this year, was the first year that they managed to attach a device to a petrol pump to calculate the quantity and the price of the fuel.
They built a Bowser.
Is that what it's called?
A petrol pump thing. Those things, yeah, it's called a Bowser.
Bowser? Yeah, yeah.
Bowser, yeah, I haven't
Got a Bowser here. Is it, what's it called?
Even Luke knows that, and he knows nothing about petrol.
I know a lot about petrol, it turns out.
Yeah.
What do you call it in your land? Just a pump.
I've never heard Bowser before.
Well, we had Peach on the first question, and now we got Bowser. I think I'm sensing a trend here.
Where's Princess?
Exactly.
Mario, for anyone that's playing at home.
Yes.
And if you're playing Mario, stop it and pay more attention.
Hey, I'll just say at this point that now I know how Clint and Luke felt when we were talking about Butlins, Shandy.
Talking about Tom O'Connor.
Tom O'Connor. Iraq in this year gains full independence from the Great Britain. Iraq, the old where does Saddam Hussein keep his CDs? In Iraq.
In Iraq.
That joke is quite old, given the CD reference.
Is that the year we're trying to get? Is it the year of the joke?
Yeah. Oh, that's Shandy. Next pandemic in 100 years, we can have a beer guest a year, but only with jokes from that particular year.
I don't think you'll have to wait 100 years.
Would it be?
We'll be round the circus again shortly.
How does Saddam line up his coke?
Oh,
in Iraq.
Just modernizing it. I mean, yeah.
You know, the level
all of a sudden I'm thirsty.
The level of accusations you can pin on that terrible man, but he was not a drug user.
I think he might have been.
He probably was. He had gold taps in his bathroom. So,
do you know when they when they found his body and all that, and so they got all of his possessions and looked through his hard drive and stuff. Do you know what they found? On his hard drive, he had downloaded and saved the Charlie bit my finger meme from that year.
Was that him or Osama bin Laden?
Ah, bollocks. It was Osama bin Laden, wasn't it?
Come on.
Still irrelevant. But
not all terrorists
still
look
funny.
The same.
Wrong. I know. Jeez. I've cast them all in the same light. I've tarred them with the same brush.
Yeah, well, when Assad, when his assets were frozen, and he had an Apple iTunes account, and they released the songs that he downloaded it, and one of them was LMFAO's "I'm Sexy and I Know It." And it's just so wonderful to imagine Assad dancing around in his underpants to "I'm Sexy."
I like how you introduced the underpants to the song. This imaginary. it's like him dancing around in his underpants.
Yeah,
it's a very
Tom Jones
very
reference.
Vivid picture. Very vivid.
He went to university in Oxford or Cambridge, didn't he, as well? Assad.
That's right.
Yeah. And weird.
I mean,
anyway,
no worse than probably a lot of other people that went to those.
Yes, yeah.
No, is he any worse than cunts like Boris Johnson? They went to posh schools and good universities.
Yeah, a few of them. Yeah. I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well here, but fantastic.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm trying to really. Yeah, I love Bench Pressington has just commented. Ben was 100% more than a friend. So like time to ponder it. Research Soromolinos. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at Ian's old friend.
Just Google images of Soromolinos from 1994.
Yeah. Shakespeare Memorial Theatre. Sorry, he's gone. Respect, William. It opens.
So-
This theatre opens in Stratford upon Avon in this year. It's interesting, a Shakespeare Memorial Theatre, in the respect that they obviously thought people would forget about him if they didn't build a theatre in his memory.
Well, that's not the one. That's not the wooden one, is
No,
it?
that's the Globe.
That's the Globe, isn't it?
That was his time. I mean, if you want to think that, then you get the year back then.
Yeah.
Or did they rebuild the Globe?
They rebuilt it,
rebuilt
but
it,
they
okay,
rebuilt
right.
it. They rebuilt it around
Just
the
stumbling
corner.
in like a fool then.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I
on
remember-
South Bank, isn't it? They rebuilt it around the corner from where it actually was. And I went and visited it, and I had great joy walking around the displays, which are rubbish, by the way. It's actually not a good tourist attraction. But
Shit.
walking around, like, they've got costumes and stuff, and they've got the little cards explaining what is in the cabinet. And I had great joy counting the amount of spelling mistakes. Shakespeare, mate.
More pedantic than Bill Shaky himself.
Yeah, you come on.
Terrible, though. I mean, not even spelling mistakes, which you could get away with because you just go, "Oh, they talked funny."
I'm going to take back my Ian was looking for amyl nitrate on holiday story. After that,
Listen, if he's so busy spell checking the people that have repurposed the Globe to try and bring it to a modern audience, he's probably not having any fun in Torremolinos with me.
Amyl nitrate was quite a good friend of mine, and I won't have a word said against him.
Yeah, but when he died, he had so many funny memes on his computer that
people thought it's okay. You can have these memes on your computer. People think it's the other one.
Loads of pictures of Ben on Ian's computer here.
I did have a fella from Leeds just go, "I can't believe I got it so wrong." That was a joy after we'd shared several pints with them. The first ever tax of gasoline, Luke, was introduced in the US this year.
Yep.
Well,
you guys are fucked now.
It's all petrol related trivia. It's all up.
It is a lot of. It's very Top Gear. This 4 white guys, just like lads, talking about going on holiday, going to Spain, confusing foreign people, thinking that they're the same. It's very Top Gear. This.
I think you favoured Luke with all these petrol questions as well.
Right into my trap.
Yes. Clint, you might be able to tell us a bit more about this one, but kidnapping becomes a federal offence in the USA. How did you get that, cat?
Yeah, that's better. Sorry,
kidnapping becomes a federal offence. Presumably, it was only a state offence.
I wonder if that really put the brakes on kidnapping, though. If lots of potential or like current kidnappers suddenly thought, "Oh fuck, I better jack it now. Oof. I could get in trouble."
The jig is up.
Yeah. At what point does it?
The good times are over, boys. Pack it in.
Been getting away with this for a while, fuckers.
At what point is it kidnap? Like, how long do you have to have someone when because surely for the first bit, it's just borrowing someone. What point is it the act of taking somebody that's the kidnapping?
We kidnapped a friend of mine off the street once. We just pulled up in a car and like chucked him into the back of the car. And like he obviously
did you put a bag over their head?
No, I think he twigged, but he's like, well,
Okay.
it was one of those situations like he couldn't, like he was like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm just gonna have to go with this joke. But then we got pulled over by the cops. And then like they just like for another reason, I can't remember why, but then the cop looked in the back seat.
Kidnapped someone.
And he's like, and you're gonna tell me about this person in the back? And we're like,
Who's this
guy in the back with a ball gag that's bound with his arms behind his back?
Like the cop was super chill about it as well. Like small town cops in New Zealand are just like, well, it's probably not a kidnapping. It's probably just a joke. So we'll let it go. And the guy got out, he's like, yeah, all right. That was it.
I love New Zealand. The police, is it Motorway Patrol? So good. Like they film police in New Zealand finding a crime and then saying, you may as well just go home. It's all right. All the time.
A friend of mine, friends of mine, I was in the car, but we'd been smoking weed in a park and we saw the cops drive past and like slow down. We're like, let's go.
So you're a petrol head and a drug user.
Yeah. I mean, the second one, come on. But then like when we went to drive, we went on the wrong side of like, there's a weird traffic island. We went on the wrong side of it. And then the cops were like, oh, we got them now, boys. So they pulled us over. And my mate, who was really high, and I had like an ounce of weed in my pocket. And the cop pulled him over and he's like, oh, you've been drinking. And my mate said, no, I haven't.
No.
Honest.
I'm really high.
And when he said honest, I was just like, oh no, this is it. Cop let us go. We were fine. We just went home. Anyway, so white people, huh? It's good.
Yeah.
What a privilege.
Thank you, privilege.
We've got a few comments in the chat. Stuart D said, so the same year someone invented a method to measure the amount of petrol and calculate the price, the government starts taxing the stuff. I know, terrible, eh? This is
the only reason they did it is because Ford built that fucking V8 engine that started sucking it up.
It's a V8 engine.
Shit, they're using too much of it. Put tax on it.
Yeah, and people are starting to fly on holiday as well. More fuel. Craig P said, we kidnapped one of my friends from his place of work, all wearing balaclavas, and flew him to Sydney for his Bucks night.
Belfast to Sydney is a long flight.
Belfast, I know. Shandy, when we were growing up, if you wouldn't go far doing that. for a
you
joke.
wear a balaclava where I grew up, and fucking hell, you get the cops.
Wow. All right. Let's move on to have we got any ballpark theories on this? Are we close?
Yeah, no. To be honest, I've been a little distracted trying to make an anagram of Ian McNally.
It's actually amyl nitrate.
Amyl nitrate.
Yeah. I knew there was something there.
Torremolinos, does that work?
There's a lot of vowels.
None of vowels. Yeah.
My friend Ben.
Well, I mean that's what got me, and I saw anal in Ian McNally straight away. So I was trying to see where else that went.
McNally.
Yeah.
Don't say anal McNally. No, stop.
I think you probably get I am anal. Probably somewhere else. All right. We've got a couple of. This is an interesting one. A guy called Joe Kirkwood, who is an Australian. He goes over to the USA, and his job is as a golf trick shot artist.
The version of Jimmy White.
Yeah, exactly. He plays a round of golf with a putter. That's it. One club. Plays it with a putter. So he drives with the putter, chips with the putter, puts with the putter.
More like Joe Kirk putter, am I right?
Not Joe Kirkwood.
I've never played golf, so that was
that's a good. Yeah, that's
that is
nice.
Yeah.
Glenn. Too highbrow, but nice.
That is very good. So he plays a round of golf, and he scores 83. So he goes around 18 holes in 83 shots. So on average, you'd be looking at a golf course would normally come in for 18 holes around 72. So he finishes 11.
Really?
11 over par. He scores 6 pars and gets a birdie on one hole.
What?
Which is incredible.
It must have been a mini golf. Must have been mini golf.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I think it was a golf course in Florida, and he's just
Was it
absolutely
like
nailed it.
It's like Happy Gilmore. Did he
Yeah.
just was he just like
Almost
like
kind
whack?
of. It would hurt.
Did he
I
do
think
that?
it'd hurt your hands like playing with a putter, and yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Australian making good in America. Very much the Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, making good.
Making good.
But like, at the time, he would have just been come back to ticker tape parade.
Yeah.
Showed those seppos what for on that Florida golf course.
Sorry, at what time, Luke?
I mean, I have no idea. So whatever I say is going to be a decade.
All right. The Boston Braves were formed in this year, and they go on to become the Washington Redskins.
Oh. Good on.
You're just really trying to get us cancelled tonight, aren't you? It's just
there's been a lot. We haven't shown the prizes for tonight. So if you do win tonight on the panel, we'll send you this book, all about beer that a man needs to know, or we'll send you the very fiercely independent, and I hope, Shandy, you win this. This is your mates, your brethren, Brewdog's craft beer for the people, the well-known communist brewery in the north of Scotland.
so.
That's right.
The very first,
the workers will seize the rights of the means of production, mate.
the very first time I would have seen Shandy in any situation was at James Watt's. What do you Ale Stars?
Yeah,
For Good
with
Beer Week.
James.
Yeah,
Oh,
2010. 2010?
That was Oh, it might be. That was a fucking awkward one, wasn't it? He was not a great guest.
I don't remember. All I remember is we sat in someone else in Ale Stars seat, and they weren't happy about that.
doesn't sound like the Ale Stars.
We normally sit here and we're like, cool.
Fuck off.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, should have got
Sorry,
here earlier.
your name wasn't on it. Fuck off.
So James
Funny
Watt. He wrote this book apparently with Richard Taylor, Martin Dickey. But yeah.
Wait, so is that the one of the recipes?
I haven't read it.
Okay, because if it is, can you pull out the recipe for Thornbury's Jaipur for me and just let me know?
Yeah. Oh, Luke, it's got all the recipes in.
Yeah. All right. Just send me the Jaipur one.
And it's got this beer mats that you can pull out as well.
Oh, I could use them for sure.
Yeah.
Somewhere. For what it's worth.
Well, if you win, Luke,
nice.
you can actually have it. Martin's nice, is he? But you don't hear much from him. It's more.
No, I had a pint with him one. I had a pint with him one night in the
Torremolinos,
actually, in the Torremolinos tap house, and he was perfectly pleasant enough. He'd been over here separately, and I think he put out on some kind of, I don't know what it was, some beer forum back then. Oh, it's probably Beer Advocate or something. He said he was coming, and I said, all right, we'll have a pint then, and he was nice enough. But then that evening with James Watt at Ale Stars was, it's a tricky one, Luke.
I don't remember it, to be honest. So
that's because you were drunk.
I've
drunk as the Lord.
I've got my one story, so that's it. The story that I told. I'm done.
Brewdog's beer was good though, wasn't it? Like back in the day, back in the heyday, it was.
They sent me a bunch of samples from Brisbane when they first started making them.
Oh yeah,
the Punk IPA was spectacular.
Mm.
So where is it? I don't ever actually see it in shops.
I don't know. I think they're just selling it in Brisbane, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, they were selling more of it when they didn't have a brewery in Australia. You could get it more here in Melbourne than now that, because I remember buying like the 5 a.m. Saint and
do you remember
5 a.m. was good?
The guy from is it Chapel Street Cellars that's been around for years?
Oh, crazy bloke.
He tweets Brewdog constantly, and James want constantly say, "Can you pay me that money you owe me for the beers?" Like in 2012 or something. And like every time Brewdog tweets something, I don't think he's tweeted for a while, but if you jump onto if you look up Chapel Street Cellars or Beeblebrox, which is the distribution company.
Yeah, that was their distro company.
Go check that out, and he'll be tweeting at Brewdog saying, "Can you send us? Can you pay your bills?"
That is so good. So good. Talking of paying the bills, in Honduras in this year, United Fruit, who were responsible for picking bananas and banana manufacture, growing. I don't think you make bananas in an oven.
They make themselves in a way.
Although sometimes you go to the supermarket and sometimes the warm. Have you had that before, where the bananas are warm? They're clearly freshly
room temperature.
Yeah, no, like hot, like warmer than room temp, noticeably warm.
I don't think anyone's microwaving your bananas, Ian.
I think that, they just come fresh out of the oven or something next to the bread. But people go on strike in Honduras, and the Honduran government, they declare martial law. And later in this year, they open fire on those workers for going on strike. Similarly, in El Salvador as well, there is a mass strike, and 4,000 workers are murdered. Quite the year for it. And I believe the USA were helping that law to be imposed.
Ian, where's the punchline of the warm bananas joke?
Yeah, what the...
I know that was just an observation.
Do you genuinely go to the supermarket and you touch the bananas and they're warm? This is a thing that happens to you multiple times.
I've been told, can you get off the bananas? You've just been holding them too long, mate. Is
this to do with
move on to the
making
gooseberries?
A petrol engine as well? You're bringing petrol back into it again, Ian.
Yeah. Hey, look. Let's move on to
Ian. Sorry, before we move on.
Yeah.
Can you ask someone in the chat if they're in the Three Ravens thing for the gold one and what the hell this is?
What was the gold one? I think.
Yeah. Can you see if you know? Yeah. Whatever that. How this works.
I will let you know.
Is it tasty? Look.
It's just a smoky boy. Is that
the best you can? You got an award for beer writing. Is that the best you can do? It's a smoky boy.
That's it. The awards 2015. I've fucking ruined myself since then.
Yeah.
Been inside for 18 months. We've all been inside for 18 months.
Yeah, it's a vape. This one.
It's fucking smoky boy, mate.
Getting vape cartridge off this one. All right. So, Clint, there has been an accusation that when you left your chair, whether you were going to get a beer or get an external assistance for the clues, I trust you, Clint. I don't think you were doing anything untoward. I think you were quite smart. Joanna's in the back there, like Banquo at the feast, watching over you. Hello, Joanna.
We've already established that I'm useless at this, so no worries there.
Look, feel free to chip in with any clues. And Jared in the chat, maybe this is a bit of a clue to the panel here. Was that a Banana Republic reference by me? Might not help at all.
We all immediately put our pens down and go over our heads.
Bench is dreaming of getting an oxidized tin of Elvis juice from First Choice. That's very apt. And Daniel's just saying, that the barman behind you, Shandy, has been very precise with that pour. It's like a Guinness. I think he's been doing it for that long. But obviously, I sat in front of the bar at a local tap house there, waiting for midnight to tick over. But in this year was the first ever Venice Film Festival. And I'll give you an extra little clue with that one. Venice Film Festival is the oldest film festival in the world. I was going to say in Italy. It's amazing a film festival in Venice could stay afloat for so long.
Jesus Christ, McNally.
Thanks to Mickey who messaged me the style of the beer.
Oh,
What is
wow.
it?
I can't say. Apparently, people don't want spoilers in the chat.
Ah, okay.
Can you direct message me?
Well, look,
Nah.
Mickey, very well played. The integrity.
Can I? I don't know. Are we direct messageable on a platform?
Yeah,
do I
if
do
there's
that?
Zoom, you can message
Yeah,
me.
you can send one.
Ah,
on
okay,
Zoom.
of course.
Chat.
Yeah. You can send it to all of us if you want, Luke, because I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
just
knowing
send
what
it to
was.
all
I don't know
of
if
us
it comes
Zoom
up on the
because
stream.
nobody else
No,
is on
it doesn't
Zoom.
come up on the stream. We can chat away. You know, I mean, the things Clint's been saying about the people in the chat is, you know,
I spelled it so badly, so I'm glad no one else is going to see that.
Wow.
Oh, is it?
Wow.
So it is a
Imperial
smoke-
stuff.
you're
No,
right,
no,
it's a-
no, you
it's
can't
a,
give.
It's a smoky boy.
Ah, dear.
Hard to say.
It's a smoky
All right.
boy.
The USA are on quite a streak this year because they fire tear gas on war veterans who attempt to march to the White House for some compensation for their efforts. So the police very, very kindly.
Does that mean this is post-Vietnam War?
Yeah, this is tricksy stuff.
It feels like this is something a reflex to the Vietnam War, which definitely puts a pin in it. If only I knew what year the Vietnam War was in.
Well,
You're like,
it was. I think Shakespeare wrote a play about it.
I know they were playing the Rolling Stones.
a lot of credence at that time.
A lot of Credence. Yeah, Charlie Don't Surf.
Forrest Gump. If you've seen Forrest Gump, maybe you'll have a clue.
I've seen Shaving Ryan's Privates as well.
It was also
Okay.
the photo finish was used for the very first time in this year in athletics,
Ooh.
and also
Fucking hell, man. This is
automated timing as well.
These last few clues have really changed. They've really changed my position.
I've dead ass gone like 100 years in my guesses.
Look, don't worry.
You start with like the first bread was baked. Scribble, 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 scribble.
I'll finesse it and
Workers
tighten
were
up the
paid
screws
in
as we
salt.
get.
Scribble, 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 scribble.
Ian, how the fuck do you patent a peach tree? I'm still stuck on that.
You're gonna have to come forward, Clint. We've moved way beyond that.
Yeah. I went to the patent office to patent an apple tree, and the lady there was formidable, but they said her bark was worse than her bite. So little.
Fuck off, McNally. This
It's
is
not even
terrible.
a good joke.
It's not, is it?
I was trying to guess. It's gonna be some shit about the lady. She was called Granny Smith or some crap like that.
She almost fainted. Couldn't stand the sight of sap. Anyway, the Indian Air Force is established in this year, and Philips, the Dutch technology company, they make their 1 millionth radio. We also have the BBC. The BBC begins transmitting for the very first time overseas in this year.
Is it non-Tory content or just the Tory content?
It's Lord Reith.
What? Hang on, Ian. What was it? You said Indian Air Force. What was after that?
So the Indian Air Force was established in this year, and Philips, the Dutch technology company, made their millionth radio.
If you miss a question, Luke, just rewind on YouTube and watch that again.
I had a Philips radio whenever I was a kid.
Did it have a number on it?
Yeah, just like like a limited release bottle. It's like one of 3.4 million.
You mean did it have a year on it? Like, is that what you're after?
Well, no, I feel no.
If it was the millionth one, then we've got our year.
Radio City Music Hall opens in New York City in this year, and also the FBI Scientific Crime Detection Lab opens in this year, known informally as the FBI Crime Lab.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Well, I thought, that
It was
when you
too
get to know it,
vague
when you get to
before.
know it, you can call it the crime lab,
Yeah. Okay.
lads.
It's crime lab to its friends.
Yeah.
Great Britain and France sign a peace treaty.
Can you not call it Great Britain, Ian?
I know. I'm sorry. Look, it's Brexit, Shandy. Mandated.
Yeah. They're great. They're great again.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
had nothing.
Yeah. I had my AZ vaccine, the Oxford vaccine. I was like, British jabs for British people, mate. Get that inside me. You want some? Oh, yes, please. Hailstones kill 200 people in Hunan province in China in this year.
Oh, well, I've got it now.
Why did you think that clue would?
You've just given it away.
I just thought it was curious that 200 people killed from hailstones. Like, I remember, people used to get dents in their cars, but
because they're
incredibly
poor people.
You all know that I've got it down to the hour.
Yeah, I know there's infrastructural reasons, which we won't go into.
A little bit of something called society. Look it up.
Tell that to Margaret Thatcher. So Goofy, who was AKA Deputy Dog, he first appears in a
Goofy
Disney
was
production.
Not Deputy Dog.
Also known as...
You've set him off.
Of all the clues to set you off, this one.
No, Goofy was a different dog from Deputy Dog. They weren't the same dog.
Dippy Dog, not Deputy Dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. I thought you were telling me Deputy Dog was the
No.
same as Goofy. I thought you were mental.
Yes. All right. I'm going to give you a couple of clues here, which might help. I'll give you three more clues before we have to lock in the guess.
Sorry, rewind. I got too upset there. What was the clue about Goofy now that I've come back?
So Goofy, also known as Dippy Dog, first appeared ever as a Walt Disney character.
All right, Goofy first appeared.
All right, so a couple of other clues which may help. Certainly, please in the chat, if you're confident now, lock in your guess. If you want to listen to I'll be very impressed if you lock in your guess, get it right before these three clues, because these are...
Ian, can you give us an indication if people in the chat are like way off or close? Because I don't want to feel like a freaking idiot.
Yeah, nobody's... Yeah.
Cool. Sick. All right, that's rad.
Look, they may be coming hot off the back of the cool room and three ravens. So maybe that might be impairing their guessing. But look, these clues might help tighten things up and make sense of it.
I hope it's about the Bermuda Triangle, because I got that covered.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The Great Emu War begins in Australia.
On Clint's roof at school.
The Great Emu War was essentially they sent Australian soldiers to shoot emu because they were being a menace. And the war was
Clint's school's roof.
Yeah,
they
well,
were.
the war was declared over, and victory was given to the emus because they were resilient to bullets.
Wow!
So in the same year, the war was started, and the Australian army defeated by the emus.
It's like the war on drugs. Utterly futile. Oh my God, Ronald Reagan and the Australians gutted because they couldn't defeat their enemy.
I think they're making a movie about it at the moment, the Great Emu War.
Really?
Yeah. And they were defeated because they could only shoot straight. The guns that they had couldn't move.
Well, how many guns do you know that can shoot not straight?
Oh, fuck. Forget I said anything. Don't worry.
Have you seen that movie with?
Do you know about guns that can shoot round corners?
Hard to say. I'm shutting the fuck up right now.
Look, smart bomb rifle.
Yeah,
things.
it was just pre the corner gun.
Some mad tech.
So stay on that track. Million radios, huh?
mate.
That would have taken years.
Tell us about the Bermuda Triangle.
All right, here's another clue which might help. This will help you narrow it down, most definitely. Adolf Hitler, in this year, gains German citizenship. Obviously, as you know, he was an Austrian by birth. And he got his German citizenship through.
Also, bad guy. Not into him.
Come on, spoilers.
Yeah, not all vegetarians are nice.
Hey, must say, Shandy, Adolf Hitler also wrote a book.
Yeah, it's probably less cancelled than that one.
Oh.
Actually, I believe Mein Kampf's a fucking quality read. I mean, in terms of insight.
I know we joked about being cancelled.
No, but in terms of like gaining an insight into, one of history's more uncelebrated characters, I believe it's a valid read if you're interested in a bit of background.
Again,
Apparently also, sorry, Luke, you go.
It's also true of the Brewdog book.
I don't think they're having the same global impact as Hitler.
Here we go. Mein Kampf, is that the one with the recipes in? Did it have
recipes for gas? Gas recipes.
Come on. We're still live, Shanti. Still live. All right. Well, what a way to go out. What a way to go.
Let's make no mistake. Old mate was a cunt, but apparently it's like, you don't read the Bible because you're religious. You read it because you're curious. And it's a curious read by all.
And also, like the Bible, apparently the punctuation and grammar in Mein Kampf, apparently it makes it unreadable. I mean... Just
like Shakespeare.
He is Shakespeare. I don't think there is a Cliff Notes on... Anyway, sorry I gave that clue. I was trying to help you out.
Yeah, that set us off then.
All right. Shandy, I'm gonna end on a local tap house related clue here.
Oh Christ!
We know JJ
they were around in this year.
Yeah. Steve Jeffers was born in this year. No. The iconic picture in the local tap house, which is next to the stage, which is
with me in it.
No, it's okay. Iconic, Shandy. Hasn't got you in.
Oh.
No, it's the one on the wall which has the young men with placards, and you might remember what those placards say.
I do.
Do you want to share it?
Not word for word, but it's "Give us our beer" or something like that. It's the prohibition placard.
We want beer.
That's the one. Give us our beer. Word for word.
The We Want Beer parade happens in New York in this year. And that was when that photograph was taken at the We Want Beer parade in New York.
Good picture.
So look, lock in your guesses at home, people playing along. I'll help you out. Just a quick rundown. The first pattern for a tree, the Australian trick shot artist. We've got
those two are useless, Ian. I'd skip to the useful ones if you're trying to help people.
Look, they might really help finesse people in the chat, their views. Ford unveil its V8 engine. Vitamin C is isolated. Haile Selassie ends slavery. We've got the Shakespeare Memorial Theatre opened. First charter holiday by air. Piccadilly Circus is lit by electricity. The We Want Beer parade. First time gasoline taxes introduced with a measurement and automatic weight and price, capacity and price, literage and price. I don't know what. Boston Braves formed as well, later become Washington Red Sox. The war veterans are attacked by police. Photo finish and automated time in the athletics is used for the very first time. Venice Film Festival. Philips millionth radio, Iraq fully independent, Indian Air Force established, Great Emu Wars, BBC transmit overseas, Radio City Music Hall opens, and the FBI crime lab is established. Do you need any more clues? Have we got ballparks?
Now, Ian, I know you said you wanted us to write our answers down and then hold them up so we couldn't like cheat. I've just realized that my pen is a mechanical pencil, which I've only just realized because the lead fell out.
Bullshit excuses.
If you would like,
I don't know where it's gone.
If you would like, you can use the chat function on Zoom and just message me with your answers.
This is weak. What are you trying to pull here?
I'll also let you know as well in this year that Al Capone was convicted of tax evasion in this year.
Oh my God.
And
I am all up and down the bloody calendar here.
Yeah,
it's quite an epic one, this one, being fair to
just a quick one, Ian. Did Hitler have a V8? I think that'll.
Well, he didn't in Austria. That was a big incentive.
Did he own his own Bowser?
Yeah. It was a big incentive to become a German citizen because instead of getting a native plant, you got a V8, which is applaudable. All right, we've got lots of bouncing around in the chat. We've also got Mickey's pointing out there. If Kappa was playing from that V8 question, he surely would have got the year.
It's a dude that loves petrol.
Yeah, he has Kappa does a podcast called Flat Stick, which is all about them talking about Holdens, Fords, John Deere's, motorbikes.
Really?
It's a pretty good podcast. They went on they got some trail bikes and rode them to New South Wales and did comedy gigs in like the outback in very small towns, which was quite a fun journey to follow.
That sounds like a skint version of that thing that your man, the Scottish actor, did. Whatever his name is.
Charlie someone.
Yeah, Charlie Thingy and your man, the Scottish actor who ruined
Ewan
Star
McGregor.
Wars. Yeah, him. Yeah, two of them they went round the world on motorbikes, and Capra managed to get to the outback.
Yeah, go on, cabby a flog.
It's just like a shit version of the same thing, but probably better.
I was in a pub in Liverpool, and this guy come over to me, and he goes, "You remind me of someone." Now, when someone says that to you exactly, yeah. When someone says that to you in a pub in Liverpool, you're on edge for the rest of the night.
You're probably gonna, it's like someone who ripped me off, and you're gonna get a kick in right now. Yeah,
and he came over to me about 2 hours later and went, "I know who you remind me of. Ewan McGregor." Right? I was younger.
You have never reminded me of Ian McGregor.
Well, I was younger. I was more slender, good looking, and
but less of a twat.
Yeah. And but no, this guy followed it up. He goes, "You remind me of Ewan McGregor in Train Spotting." I thought that little caveat at the end was unnecessary. You absolute rat.
I look like
come and tell me that.
I'll dive down a toilet for methadone suppositories.
So cruel.
Ian, can you please accept my first answer and not the...
Oh, yes.
Wait, are we meant to type it in the chat, are we?
Yeah.
I know you're supposed to message Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to message Ian my answer.
I mean, it depends how you want to play it.
Well,
I had to hold it up on a bit of paper. I wrote it down.
Yeah, Shandy, you can hold it up.
Look, I wrote it on a bit of paper, and now I've seen Luke's answer, and I'm confident, more confident in my own answer, which is good.
All right, go on. Shandy, 1937.
I'll hold it up then. I don't know, man. This is really hard, man.
It was very hard. We
Oh, you
can't see
it.
that.
You can't see
Hold
it.
it in
I'm
front
gonna-
of you.
Just tell us.
Hold it in
No, it
front of your
doesn't
face.
work. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat right now.
You can just say it
Oh,
out loud. Luke's already submitted his.
That's
Clint's.
mine.
Oh, wow.
Mine.
Wow.
I tried to fox the chat by pretending I put the wrong one into the chat by saying 1936. Well, after I'd messaged Ian 1924. So I really hope it's not now 1936.
Well,
So my guess is
I happen to know-
1924.
I happen to
We're all
know
over
for
the
a
place.
fact. I know for a fact that Haile Selassie died the year after I was born. So that gave me a little bit of context, right? So it can't be as late as that. And then
Hitler was dead.
what?
Hitler was.
Yeah, he
Long-
died in 1945. So I don't know
Oh,
whether
so he
they
did. Oh, I
post-
fucking
I don't know
forgot
whether
about Hitler.
like post. Hitler was the only clue that you lit up on.
So
Shandy.
hang on, has his guess
Yeah,
been?
so I obviously got carried away with Hitler and
has
forgot about
has
the
his guess
detail.
been told to the chat, to the audience?
No, not
Okay.
yet. It was
Not yet, but
1958.
it's clearly it's at least 15 years out. And do you know what I was I was looking at my notes here. I was looking at my notes and I was going down and I was thinking, these ones feel early, these ones feel early. This one gives me context. And then I've gone and ignored the old bloody Hitler stuff because do you know what? It's on a different page.
I've just had Jared in the chat saying, did a fella come up to you in a pub and go, do you know who you remind me of? Ben.
Did he offer you poppers?
So we've got a 28-year gap between guesses.
Can I have a second guess?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
go on, Shandy. It's the last episode. Go on. Look,
Well-
considering you thought Adolf Hitler was given German citizenship 13 years in the grave.
Posthumous.
Yeah,
Posthumous.
posthumous citizenship. I
Why
don't think
didn't
there was
they
a big
have posthumous?
appetite after the
Yeah.
war.
So like, hey, you know who we should really
Yeah.
reward
One of our own.
now
One
that
of
we're
our
trying to
own.
get back into
I-
the international community?
I think it's time we celebrated old Adolf.
Jesus. We're going to get... This is definitely demonetized on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness
All right,
me.
let me can I have
Right.
another guess? Can I have another guess?
Yes. Yeah, please. Just say it out loud. Everybody else has submitted their guess.
All right. Well, fuck me. Because the whole V8 thing had me coming a bit forward.
Yeah, me too. That's what got me.
That had me coming forward. And then Haile Selassie, I thought, oh, maybe it was the end of his tenure. That's why I was going late there. Goofy's first appearance. Well, Goofy was black and white, actually, wasn't he? So it could have been really early. See, I didn't give it enough thought. All right, I'm gonna bounce the other way. I'm going early.
All right.
Screw
Oh,
you.
okay.
So just
Okay.
early is your answer?
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah,
given
Oh, no, you
it
put it in the chat.
in the chat. Put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
okay.
It's a chat.
Just earlier, pre-1958.
Earlier than the dead person who I was supposed to consider while I was trying to come up with my answer.
All right. So, Luke, is your answer the one that you sent privately to?
Yeah, 1924.
Okay.
I've gone super early.
Luke has gone 1924. Shandy has gone 1938.
I
And
don't think Haile
Clint-
Selassie was even alive then.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know him as a guy from reggae songs. So
how does Bob Marley like his donuts? We're jamming.
Good jamming.
Jeez. Clint, you went for 1937. What an adventure. We've gone on way too long. We've almost been going an hour and a half. How have we managed to sustain this nonsense for so long? Well done if
Oh,
you're
we could
still
go
with
longer,
us.
I'm sure.
The year that all of these things happened was 1932. 1932.
did anyone get it in the chat?
We did have a couple of we
Couple
all
cheat-
started
couple of
way out.
cheats got it.
Some people were in the 50s, some people in the 40s, some people in the 20s. Jared 1931. Kelv, you definitely 1932. The Great Emu War was the giveaway for Kelv.
No way.
I think he fought in it. I don't know. And then we had lots of Daniel, Michael got 1932 as well. Mickey got 1934. Craig P 1938. Stuart D 1931. So pretty solid. I think some of those clues really helped to finesse.
I think the one clue that made me go for 24 was photo finish. And I was like, oh, it's an Olympic year. So then I counted Olympic years and I was like, all right. And
correct.
I couldn't work out which one it would have been.
It was.
So I initially had 1934 written down. I was like, well, it's not an Olympic year. Let's take 10 off.
It was an Olympic year, Luke. It was 1932, which was the Los Angeles Olympic Games, which that technology was very important because it did help settle a couple of races as well, and medals changed hands after they looked at the photograph. So
how mad is it that it's that long ago the V8 engine was created and we're still having a piss and a whinge over changing them to electric?
Yeah,
I mean, when you create perfection, Shandy, you don't want to change it.
I know, right?
And same like Hitler gets citizenship, and then gets power the following year. So the NSDAP win the election the next year, which is amazing.
That didn't happen when I got my Australian passport.
No. No.
I don't know if I wasn't maybe putting the right foot forward.
Yes.
Nothing really came back on me.
Look, get in touch with your mate James Watt. I'm sure he can put you in touch with a publisher.
Wasn't able to control the country or, my mandate.
Ale Stars was the perfect launching point for you.
Yes.
You got a crowd.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so many fun things that happened. The first film festival as well in Venice, the world's first. But also the kidnapping one. It was actually Charles Lindbergh, the aviator. It was a really tragic tale because his 20-month-old baby was kidnapped and died, and that law was introduced federally for that reason alone, for that high-profile case. Iraq gets full independence 1932. From the UK or from Great Britain, and BBC start transmitting overseas. They're just transmitting radio at this point, and also the FBI crime lab as well. And Al Capone as well goes into prison for tax evasion, which is the only crime they could pin on him. And the Sydney Harbour Bridge has opened in this year as well, but I didn't give that one because I thought it might give it away to you, particularly to the Australian on the panel. Clint, would you have got that? Sydney Harbour Bridge?
I'm from WA, just a reminder.
I'm from Liverpool, but I am aware of other things in the world.
Not in WA, mate. Don't worry.
They are very remote out there.
Yes.
If I had thought that Al Capone clue through, I wouldn't have given my first shitty answer.
Yeah, well, it's also Piccadilly Circus is lit by electricity for the first year, and
I ignored that as well.
Well, the other one, which was talked about in the chat as well, which was the police who set upon the war veterans who were attempting to march to the White House. They were actually World War I veterans, and they'd come back.
I thought that was a bloody Vietnam thing.
Yeah.
That pushed forward.
Yeah, so it shows you the American government are they're consistent in their approach to these things. So they actually, and I thought that was a really cruel thing that they did, because they launched tear gas upon these veterans who would have been in the trenches with chemical weapons being used in the First World War. So Luke's just come back to this conversation thinking, what's happened to us? So that was quite, I think the war veterans as well had started to camp out, and I think it was Herbert Hoover at the time who gave the police and the army permission to get rid of them, so to speak. They were trying to negotiate.
Those Hoovers have got a good track record of human rights.
Yes,
It's-
they really suck.
It's so
Yeah.
weird that the people they keep sending to war as heroes are just treated like shit constantly, and it never changes. So that's good. Good work.
Yeah.
Good work, everyone.
That
Yes.
really works out.
Yeah.
It's global though, Luke. It ain't just America.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Kelv has pointed out as well at the Philips, the radio on the train broadcast and the V8 engine should be a lot further apart than what they actually are.
I was thinking about the radio on a train one when, like, maybe it just never came up. Like, there's no need to broadcast radio from a train because a train is a famously noisy thing.
Yeah, who wants the radio coming from the train? It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
It's
We
like
got a live broadcast coming from the
Like the-
engine.
the first
of
person
this,
maybe-
the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Fuck
the
off.
first person maybe tried it and they were like, well, that's a stupid idea. Let's never make that
noisy.
happen.
Yeah, just people. Tickets, please. Tickets. Feet off the seat. Just
A surly ticket collector. Fucking, being
Yeah.
a job's worth and annoying people.
yeah. I tried to touch on, but it just said it wouldn't register.
How long until the actual thing comes along? Like, they've obviously been training for a very long time.
Training. Nice.
They've
Oh, sorry. I completely missed that, Clint. I'm so sorry. There were you trying to keep me on track.
So good. My God.
Oh dear. Well, gents exclusively. 3 white gentlemen, 1 slightly red one. It's been a blast.
We
It's
love
been
our cars.
fantastic.
Hey, guys.
Love the cars.
We
I'm
love
off,
our car.
I'm off to smash a Top Gear box set. With,
Hey, invite me over next time.
Yeah, I
yeah.
fucking love Jeremy Clarkson.
with what is it? The
I love
hamster.
the Stig.
The hamster.
Give me a
Je-
Stig.
yeah.
Who is he?
Je-
Who knows? Ah.
Je-
I think he's been exposed now, Luke. I think we do know.
Oh yeah.
Nah, you never really know, though, do you? Could be anyone.
No. Yeah. James May. Thanks for the tip. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, lads. Yeah. No, anyway.
You and Ben know all about this.
Leave Ben out of this. So that was it. 47th episode of Have a Beer Guest Ear. Who'd have thought it would go on for this long? Not just this episode going on too long, but 46 before it. It's been a wild ride. Hopefully it's the last one we
More
ever do in
episodes than
lockdown.
Faulty
Yeah,
Towers.
hopefully it's the last one.
What's that, Luke?
More episodes than Faulty Towers.
The Faulty
Yeah.
Towers made 12 episodes. We've absolutely
sucked in, John
crunched it.
Cleese.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, but Faulty Towers has been revered for decades. This won't be.
Hey, history
we're
will.
catching
History will.
Yeah. History will be the judge.
And it wasn't even quite as racist as us.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean-
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm joking, obviously.
Old Major there.
Making a gag at the expense of the council.
Look, 47 episodes, catching up with Coronation Street, which is a bloody long box set. We will see you all. Maybe in real life. This is the last episode in lockdown. Maybe we'll get to the point where we see you in person, fully vaccinated. It's been emotional. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Clint. Thanks, Joanna. Thanks, Shandy. We'll see you soon.
Come to Elstars when we get back.
Come to Elstars and I'll tell you that you sat in me seat. Bye.